Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive all about content marketing.
Yeah, should be a good one.
It should be. You guys sent in a really interesting mix of stuff.
We've got guides, articles, even a PDF called Content Marketing Basics. Looks like you're ready to take your content to a whole new level.
Definitely. And what really jumps out from all this material is this idea of a shift in perspective. It's not about broadcasting your message anymore.
It's about really connecting with your audience.
Yeah, it's not about just shouting out into the void hoping someone hears you. This Content Marketing Basics PDF actually has a good example.
Yeah.
It talks about this company, and they provide direct marketing data, but instead of just selling that data, they made all these free resources, guides, courses, even blog posts to teach people how to use that data.
Wow, that's smart.
It's super smart.
It's positioning themselves as a really valuable resource, not just a vendor.
Yeah, they're empowering their audience with knowledge.
Even if it means some people might use that knowledge with a competitor's product.
That's the really interesting part. It's almost counterintuitive.
It is, yeah.
You're helping people who might not even become customers.
Right.
But I guess in the long run, it builds trust and establishes them as experts.
For sure.
What else stood out to you?
So building on that connection idea, a lot of the material really focuses on the emotional side of marketing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about logic and features.
Right. It's not just like, this is our product, this is what it does, this is why you need it.
Yeah. It's about tapping into feelings and creating an identity, an image that resonates with people.
You know, they even mentioned that something like 70% of purchasing decisions are based on emotional connections.
70%. Wow.
Yeah.
It's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, it is. And it really makes you think differently about how you're crafting content.
Yeah.
So instead of just focusing on the what, we need to think about the how.
Okay.
How can we evoke emotion, create memorable experiences, and build those lasting relationships through our content?
So it's not just about writing that really great blog post or, creating an infographic that looks amazing.
It's more than that.
Yeah, it's about, weaving a narrative, weaving a feeling and experience that people connect with on a deeper level.
Exactly, yeah. Think about brands like State Farm.
Oh, yeah.
With their good neighbor persona. They're not just selling insurance, they're selling peace of mind.
Right.
Or Ford truck commercials. It's not just about the truck.
Yeah.
It's about tapping into that feeling of rugged individualism and adventure.
Those are such good examples. And speaking of examples, there's one in the material that I really that really resonated with me.
What's that?
And that's the emphasis on education as a powerful engagement tool. It's about empowering your audience, giving them the tools and the knowledge they need to succeed.
Yeah, even if it means, like we said before, pointing them towards a competitor's solution.
Yeah, that's the part that blows my mind.
I know.
Like, how can you suggest a competitor's product?
It seems so counterintuitive, but
It does.
but it says so much about your confidence.
Yeah.
And your commitment to putting your audience's needs first.
Absolutely. And they actually gave an example in this PDF about this software company.
Okay.
And they started offering these free sales and marketing resources to their users. You know what happened? Increased customer satisfaction.
That makes sense.
Engagement went up.
It does, because when you empower people with knowledge,
Yeah.
you build trust, and you establish yourself as that valuable resource.
Right.
You become more than just a vendor. You become a partner in their success.
It's like that old saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime.
Right.
Except in this case, you're teaching them to market.
To market, exactly.
Or sell, or whatever your area of expertise is.
And that leads us perfectly into another area I think we should talk about.
Okay.
Humor and altruism as engagement tools. And this actually ties in nicely with your persona as a learner. We know you appreciate a good laugh.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Humor is so powerful. I mean, it can connect with people. It can make those complex topics more relatable and just, add a bit more joy.
it can be really effective.
Yeah. And the source actually brought up Conan O'Brien's podcast as an example.
Oh, yeah.
He's always injecting humor, even into his commercials.
It's amazing.
It makes him something that people actually want to watch.
Yeah, and that's what you want.
You don't want to skip them.
Exactly. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a great example of how you can use humor to make your content more relatable and more memorable. It breaks down those barriers and creates that sense of connection.
So how do you do that? How do you inject humor into your content without it feeling forced? or cheesy?
That's the question, right?
Yeah, because I've seen brands try way too hard to be funny, and
Falls flat.
it just completely
Yeah.
falls flat.
It's all about authenticity.
Okay.
What makes you laugh? What kind of humor aligns with your brand personality?
Right.
The PDF actually had this funny example about a bakery that started creating these short videos about like common baking disasters.
Oh,
People could totally relate.
that's so clever. We've all been there. Right.
Oh, yeah. Burnt cookies, lopsided cakes, frosting that just refuses to cooperate.
Yes. Turning those relatable struggles into humorous content, that's brilliant.
It's a great way to connect.
It is. Okay, so humor is about being relatable and finding that joy in the everyday. What about altruism? How does that fit into the content creation picture?
Right. So remember we talked about Starbucks
Yeah.
and their commitment to sustainability.
Yeah, it's not just about selling coffee anymore.
It's about aligning with values that their customers care about.
So by showcasing your company's values, you're inviting people to connect with you on that deeper level.
Exactly. And here's where it gets interesting. The source really emphasizes that you should be choosing causes you genuinely care about,
Makes sense.
not just hopping on the latest trends.
Yeah, you can spot a fake a mile away. If you're not truly passionate about it, it's going to show in your content.
Exactly. Think about what genuinely matters to you and your brand. What are you passionate about? What change do you want to see?
What are your values?
Let those values guide your content, and you'll attract the right people.
Right, those like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
It's like that local bakery donating their leftover bread. It's a simple act.
Simple but powerful.
But they're not just feeding people. They're demonstrating their commitment to reducing waste and supporting their community. It's a win-win.
Totally.
And it's something that they can easily incorporate into their marketing.
Telling.
Share stories, highlight the impact, even invite customers to get involved.
It's not just about talking the talk. It's about walking the walk.
Exactly. And then inviting other people to join you.
You got it.
That brings us to another exciting topic, and that's AI.
AI
in content marketing.
Yeah, this is where things get kind of futuristic.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Especially for smaller businesses who might not have these huge marketing budgets.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
The source lays out a really compelling case for how AI can level the playing field.
Right. It gives everyone access to those tools.
Exactly. Tools that can automate tasks, personalize content, even generate ideas.
And this isn't just some far-off concept. They actually mention a bunch of tools people are using right now.
Like what?
Like ChatGPT,
Okay.
Jasper, Surfer SEO, HubSpot.
Yeah, they're everywhere now.
These are things that are accessible, and AI can help with everything.
Everything from writing blog posts to creating social media graphics, optimizing your website.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game changer, especially for those busy entrepreneurs,
Oh, yeah.
marketers who are juggling a million things. But they do make one really important point.
Okay.
AI is a tool,
Right.
not a replacement for human creativity.
And strategy.
Uh-huh.
Right. It's not about handing over the reins completely.
Yeah.
It's about using AI to amplify your own skills. You're still the one calling the shots.
It's like having a really smart assistant
Yeah.
that can help you get things done faster, more efficiently, but you're still the one making the decisions.
You're still the captain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to another crucial aspect of content marketing.
Yeah. What's that?
Consistency.
Okay.
Whether you're using AI or doing everything manually, showing up consistently is key to building trust and staying top of mind with your audience. You want to establish that rhythm, that cadence that people can rely on.
It's like that friend who always shows up on time, ready to have a good time. You can always count on him.
Exactly. That's the kind of reliability you want with your content. And that's where we'll pick up in the next part of our deep dive.
Bang.
Exploring those specific content types and how you can really use them to tell your brand story in a way that's engaging and effective. So stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.
All right, so we're back and ready to dive into, the actual creation of this engaging content. And I think for me, I'm really interested in those content types that we touched on earlier.
Yeah, me too. Let's start with that whole idea of positioning yourself as that helpful resource.
Okay.
Even if it means, recommending your competitors.
Right. Putting the audience's needs first.
That counterintuitive concept we were talking about.
Yeah, but how do you actually do that
Right.
in a way that doesn't sound like you're undermining your own business?
Well, the PDF uses the example of this software company.
Right.
And they realized their customers were struggling to use their data effectively. So instead of pushing for more sales, they created these free guides, online courses, to help people get the most out of the data they were already buying.
So they're not just selling data, they're becoming trusted advisors.
Exactly.
Okay.
And here's the really interesting part. They didn't just focus on their own platform. They included tips and techniques people could use even if they were working with a competitor's product.
Oh, wow. So they're showing confidence in their own product while still acknowledging that other options exist.
Right.
It's like, we're so good, we're not afraid to show you how to use other tools too.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of honesty can set you apart.
It shows you're really invested in your audience's success, even if it means they might choose a different solution.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But creating engaging content, it goes beyond just the educational stuff, right?
Mm.
What about those ideas of humor and altruism? I know from your deep dive prep that humor is something you enjoy.
It is.
Maybe we can start there.
Oh, absolutely. Remember the Conan O'Brien example?
Oh, yeah.
A master at using humor to make even commercials entertaining.
Oh, you know, he's got this way of, like, poking fun at himself.
The whole industry.
And the whole advertising industry. Yeah. But it's never mean-spirited.
It's endearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great example of how humor can make your content more relatable, more memorable. It breaks down barriers.
Okay.
And creates that sense of connection.
So how do you do that? How do you inject humor into your content without it feeling forced or cheesy? Because I've seen some brands try way too hard to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
And it falls flat.
It does. Yeah. It's all about authenticity.
Okay.
What makes you laugh? What kind of humor aligns with your brand's personality? The PDF actually had this funny example about a bakery.
Okay.
That started creating these short videos about common baking disasters.
Yeah.
You know? People could totally relate.
That's so clever. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Burnt cookies, lopsided cakes, frosting that just refuses to cooperate.
I know. It's like, why?
Turning those relatable struggles into humorous content. That's great.
That's a great way to connect.
Okay, so humor is about being relatable, finding that joy in the everyday. What about altruism? How does that fit into the content creation picture?
Right. So remember how we talked about Starbucks?
Yeah.
Their commitment to sustainability?
Yeah, it's not just about selling coffee anymore.
It's not. It's about aligning with values that their customers care about.
Right.
Right. And it taps into a deeper human need, that desire to be part of something bigger than ourselves.
To make a positive impact.
To make a difference.
So by showcasing your company's values, you're inviting people to connect on a deeper level.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting. The source really emphasizes, choosing causes you genuinely care about.
Okay. Yeah.
Not just hopping on the latest trends.
Right, because people can spot a fake from a mile away.
A mile away.
If you're not truly passionate about it,
it's going to show.
It's going to show.
Think about what genuinely matters to you and your brand. What are you passionate about? What change do you want to see in the world? Let those values guide your content.
You'll attract the right people.
You will. It's like that bakery, donated their leftover bread. It's a simple act.
It is a simple act. But they're not just feeding people. They're also demonstrating their commitment to reducing waste, supporting their community.
The win-win.
And they can easily incorporate that into their content marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Share those stories, highlight the impact, even invite customers to get involved.
It's about showing, not just telling.
Exactly. And that brings us to, I feel like, another really exciting topic, AI. AI in content marketing.
Yeah. This is where things start to feel futuristic.
This is where things get really interesting, especially for smaller businesses.
Right.
Who might not have these huge marketing budgets. The source actually lays out a really compelling case for how AI can level the playing field.
Because it gives everyone access.
It gives everyone access
to these tools.
To those tools that can automate tasks, personalize content, even generate ideas.
It can.
And this isn't just some far-off concept. They actually mention a bunch of tools that people are using right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, okay. Yeah.
Jasper, Surface.io, HubSpot. These are things that are very accessible.
They are.
And AI can help with everything.
Everything. From writing blog posts to creating social media graphics, optimizing your website.
It's a game changer, especially for those busy entrepreneurs, those marketers who are juggling a million things. But, they do make one really important point. AI is a tool, not a replacement.
For human creativity and strategy.
Yeah, it's not about handing over the reins completely. It's about using AI to, amplify your skills and insights.
Be smarter about it.
You're still the one in control. It's like having a really smart assistant that can help you get things done faster, more efficiently, but you're still the one making those decisions. You're still the captain.
Yeah, you're.
And that brings us to another crucial aspect of content marketing, and that's consistency. Whether you're using AI or doing everything manually, showing up consistently is key, for building trust, staying top of mind.
Yeah.
You want to establish that rhythm.
That cadence.
That cadence, yeah.
That people can rely on.
It's like that friend who always shows up on time.
Yeah.
Ready to have a good time. You can always count on them. That's the kind of reliability you want to cultivate.
Definitely.
With your content.
Yeah, I like that.
So we've covered educational content, humor, altruism. It feels like we're building this toolkit for creating really engaging content. Is there anything else we should add to that toolkit?
What's interesting is the source material doesn't treat these as separate things.
Yeah, okay.
It actually encourages weaving them all together.
What do you mean?
So think about it. You can create educational content that's also humorous.
Okay.
You can use storytelling to highlight your company's altruistic efforts. You can inject personality and humor into your discussions of even serious topics.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not about choosing one or the other. It's about finding that blend.
So it's about finding the right recipe.
Exactly.
The right mix.
The perfect mix of ingredients.
Yeah, that will resonate.
They'll resonate with your brand and your audience. And that's where the real artistry of content marketing comes in. It's understanding the nuances of your audience, the emotional triggers that resonate, the unique voice that sets your brand apart.
I'm starting to see that content marketing is more than just tactics and checklists.
It's not a formula.
It's really about creative strategy and genuine connection.
You got it. And that's what makes it so exciting.
Okay.
It's not just turning out blog posts or social media updates.
Mm-hmm.
It's about crafting experiences that really resonate with people on a human level.
It's like content marketing as storytelling.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
And that's a concept we can delve into even further in the final part of our deep dive. We'll explore the power of narrative, the importance of authenticity, and the ways you can use content to create a lasting impact.
Okay, bring on the stories.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our content marketing deep dive. And I'm really excited about this because we're about to explore, I think, one of the most powerful tools in any marketer's arsenal, storytelling.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is a good one.
What I find so fascinating about storytelling is its ability to tap into something really fundamental in us. It's how we make sense of the world, connect with each other, and even, I think, remember information in a way that just facts and figures never could. Oh, absolutely. It's way more engaging. But how do we actually apply storytelling to content marketing? Because it feels, I don't know, a little bit more abstract than, say, writing a blog post or designing an infographic.
Right, it can be. Well, remember that bakery example?
Mm-hmm.
They could weave storytelling into their content.
Okay.
By sharing their origin story,
Mm-hmm.
the passion behind their craft, or even the challenges they've overcome.
It's about giving people that peek behind the curtain, letting them see the human faces, the personal stories that really make up that brand.
Exactly. And that's where authenticity comes in.
Yeah.
People can sense when a story is genuine.
Oh, for sure.
When it's coming from the heart. So it's about being a little bit vulnerable, sharing your values, and letting your personality shine through.
So it's not just about crafting this clever narrative.
It's more than that.
It's about sharing something real, something that people can connect with on an emotional level.
Yeah, making that human connection.
Exactly. And that's what makes storytelling so powerful. It allows you to create a connection that goes beyond just, buying and selling. You're inviting people into your world, sharing your journey, and you're letting them become a part of your story.
And they become invested.
Yeah, they do. This actually reminds me of something we talked about earlier, aligning your content with your values. When you share stories that reflect your core beliefs,
You attract those like-minded people.
you naturally attract like-minded individuals who resonate with your message.
Yeah, it's a powerful way to build community.
It is. It's like you're inviting people to join you on a mission and to become a part of something bigger than themselves.
I like that. Creating a movement.
Creating a movement, yeah. And the best part is anyone can be a storyteller.
Anyone.
You don't need this fancy equipment, a Hollywood budget. You just need that genuine desire to connect with your audience and share your story.
That's it.
So where do we start? What are some practical tips for actually incorporating storytelling into content marketing?
So the source material, it actually suggests starting with your why.
Okay.
Why did you start your business?
Yeah.
What problem are you trying to solve? What impact do you want to make on the world? Get really clear on those core motivations.
It's about remembering that initial spark.
That passion.
Yeah, that got you started in the first place.
Exactly. And once you have a clear understanding of your why, you can start weaving that into all of your content. Share behind-the-scenes stories, customer testimonials, or even just like anecdotes from your own life that illustrate your values.
And we can use all those other tools that we talked about, humor, altruism, education, to make those stories even more engaging.
More memorable, yeah.
Absolutely. Think of those as like spices
Okay.
that enhance the flavor.
They enhance the flavor of your story.
Exactly. They help you connect with your audience on multiple levels.
So it's about finding that right blend.
The right combination of elements that will resonate.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Try different approaches. See what works. You know, content marketing, it's a constantly evolving field.
Yeah.
So you have endless opportunities to just get creative and find your voice.
That's the fun part.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. I feel like we've explored so much. The fundamentals, the importance of that emotional connection, the power of education, and of course, the magic of storytelling.
And I think most importantly, we uncovered that one key ingredient.
That ties everything together.
Okay.
Authenticity. It all comes back to being genuine.
Yeah.
Sharing your true self.
And connecting with your audience on a human level.
Exactly. When you do that, everything else falls into place.
Content marketing at its core is about human connection. It's about building relationships, fostering trust, creating community around shared values.
Yeah.
And that's something I think we can all aspire to.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into content marketing, but this is just the beginning of your journey. Now that you have this foundation, it's time to go out and create your own story. What will you share with the world? What impact will you make?
The possibilities are endless. Go forth and create content that matters. Content that connects. Content that makes a difference.